Are you worried about being scammed when buying a Boston Terrier puppy? In this video, I actually interview someone who has been scammed trying to get a Boston, and she shares with us basically her experience, how much money she lost, and shows us some signs that we can watch out for just so these type of pet scams doesn't happen to you and I. Coming up. Hey everybody, welcome to the Boston Terrier Society YouTube channel. Consider subscribing if you're someone who wants to learn more about the breed, learn what it's like to be an owner, hear expert interviews, as well as connect with other Boston Terrier lovers just like yourself. I'm Donnie Gardner, the founder of BostonTerrierSociety.com, and today I interview Heidi. She is someone who's actually been a victim of a pet scam related to trying to get a Boston Terrier puppy. She had lost several $100s, and she's going to walk us through exactly what happened and some signs we can watch for. Now, if you are someone who's looking for a Boston Terrier puppy, I actually made a video a while back. You can check that video out here or in the show notes, basically giving you 3 places that I recommend to start your Boston Terrier puppy search. Now, no site is guaranteed as far as, avoiding some sort of scam. You always want to be vigilant, but at least I think those 3 websites are the best to start with. So you can check it out once again in the show notes or simply YouTube, where to find a Boston Terrier puppy. My video should pop up there. And remember, these scam artists are basically preying on your vulnerability and excitement of getting a Boston Terrier puppy, and they're going to use that to try to scam you and get your money. So without further ado, let's talk to Heidi and see what happened to her. Also, I had to change the shirts, so couldn't find that old shirt, tried to make it the same, didn't work out. That's why my shirt changed. Anyways, on to Heidi. Heidi, thank you so much for coming on today. My first question to you, can you just kind of walk us through as far as what happened in a nutshell regarding the scam that happened to you?
Sure. My husband and I decided we wanted to start looking for a dog, and would be our second dog. And our first dog I had gotten 10 years prior off of Pet Finders. And so we went there again, and a lot of the dogs on there are ones that are at shelters or need a home, not so much at a breeder. And so we had gotten Jack, our first dog, through Pet Finders, and he was being adopted as not an orphan, he was at a rescue, and he was a puppy. So we were hoping to do the same thing, and we went on looking for Boston Terriers, and there were several places, and one that I reached out to was probably like 45 minutes from my home. It said it was at an animal shelter, but it looked like they had numerous puppies. So I assumed that it was probably a whole litter that needed a home, and I reached out to them several times over like 5 different puppies. Never heard anything back. A week passed, and then I went back on Pet Finders and found another one, and this one was called b-terriershome.com. And I reached out about a dog named Rocky. They said, can you tell us a little bit about your home and the environment this puppy would be living in? So it started out sounding like they were interviewing me to make sure I was okay to have a dog, which sounded safe because that's what you would want somebody who was giving a puppy away to make sure it's going to be home. Yeah. So I ran through our scenario that we had another dog. We didn't have small children, but our dog was very friendly, and that we have a fenced-in yard, and just kind of gave him the rundown. And he emailed me back and said that it sounded like a perfect fit for his puppy and that Rocky was still available. And he said, however, we're no longer in that area, but we do deliver the puppies to the nearest airport if your airport is close to where we deliver. And right now, there just happened to be a special that they would waive the $250 carrier fee to do so. So I'm like, well, this is a great thing. I told him the airport. It took like 24 hours to get back. He said, yes, we have a carrier that can pick up and meet you at that airport. He sent me detailed instructions of how that would work and the paperwork that I had to fill out for the adoption of the dog. Filled that out. It was very thorough. There were a lot of questions, which I think was one of the reasons I thought, this is very legit, because it's a lot of paperwork.
They weren't just asking for your money at that point.
Yeah, it wasn't like, hey, give us the money and you're good. So I filled out the paperwork, sent it in. He got back to me and said, we're good. next is you need to wire the money. Once we receive the wire, I'll let you know what flight is available, and I'll give you instructions on picking them up, and the carrier will call you on your phone to meet them at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
So it all sounded great. He sent me the wire instructions, which were through Western Union.
Mm-hmm.
And it had his information. It was like, I think his name was Norm Miller or something. It sounded like an Amish breeder kind of thing.
Yeah.
And his address in North Carolina. And I looked it up and it was a legit address. It had a phone number on there. So it looked good. So I wired them money. When I went on to Western Union, it tells you very many times, don't wire to anybody that's not a friend or a family. I did it anyway. I'm like, this is legitimate. I know this is going to work. This is fine. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
So I did it. And then I got an alert from my bank that said, this doesn't seem right. Are you sure you want to send this money? Yep, that's me. I'm doing this. I know what I'm doing. I'm not getting scammed. So I did it. I heard back from him the next day that said, thank you. I got the money and I will be in touch with you on the next flight that we can get Rocky to you. And I'm like, great.
Man.
And I think this was like Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So I didn't expect urgency. Didn't hear back from him. And Thanksgiving passed, the day after Thanksgiving passed. And I thought, okay, well, it's a holiday. People all take a break from business.
Right. Hey, I just wanted to hop in here. If you're enjoying this video, definitely subscribe just so you can get the latest from us. Otherwise, back to the show.
Monday, I reached out and I said, I'm getting a little worried. I haven't heard from you. And he responded. And he said, I am so sorry for the delay. I'm still working on getting your dog to the airport. I will be in touch soon. So I'm like, great. I'm not getting scammed.
Yeah.
I think like a week passed and my daughter is away at college and I would talk to her and she said, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? And I'm like, no. She's like, Mom, I think you're getting scammed. I gave her the website and the pictures. He sent me a video of the puppy.
Wow.
And with a handout. And I still have those and very cute, very detailed. And I did a screenshot of the puppy in the ad, but she did like a reverse picture search and it was a stock picture.
Wow.
So there's a way you can do that. And she did. And it was a stock image, which I didn't even know to do. And then she also put in the name of the website and he had a Google email address and she put in the name of the website and the word scam and it flooded with information on the site. I think I emailed him back like the next day just saying you're a very bad person. You do this to people and that you would take advantage of somebody looking to give a puppy a home.
I mean, looking back and everything, is there any part in this whole transaction that was a red flag? Or did you feel uneasy
at
any part before you actually realized it?
My husband kind of was letting me do this. But after the first one didn't respond, he was kind of like, this doesn't feel right. And then when I told him about the airport, he's like, I'm going to let you do this, but it doesn't sound right. So I think that the airport, I was just really, you get that tunnel vision that we're getting this puppy. Right. And you ignore the flags. So that was that. And then definitely 100% was the Western Union. When I got to that point and it was telling me, don't do this, I should have stopped.
As far as the price and everything, what was the price that they were offering?
Yes, that should have been a red flag as well. The price said $675.
Okay.
And if anybody has bought a Boston, that's not usually the price range of anybody. But again, even when I got Jack from Pet Finders and he was a rescue puppy, he was like $275 because they do the puppy shots. And I mean, there are fees involved with, and even a rescue dog. So I guess I didn't think that was crazy because I wasn't thinking it was a breeder price,
Right. Yeah. I mean, what you can find, well, I say can find, this was 10 years ago when we got Bella. We bought her for $350, from a breeder. She's registered and everything. But of course, that was 10 years ago. But prices have definitely gone up.
Yeah.
Just really within the last few months with COVID going on and everything. But it seems like all the scams that I've come across online, that's the price point, like $600 to $700
Yeah.
with the free, delivery.
Yes.
Hmm.
And that was, I felt like it was like one of those like act now and you'll get free delivery. So I was like, yes, I got to do this now.
Right.
And
Hmm.
it maybe made me rush it a little because I was thinking this was
Hmm.
Black Friday deal.
Right. No, but I think this is really helpful just because, I wouldn't think of them going through the detail of, having you fill out the application, the back and forth emails, even after they have taken
Even
your money.
after.
Um,
Mhm.
I mean, that's a pretty legit operation as far as a scam
Yeah.
artist.
And I kept thinking, why would, after he got the money, why would he even respond?
Mhm.
He didn't
Yeah.
need to. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting
Mhm.
scammed. Something came up with him, and there's a reason why I'm not hearing.
Mhm. As far as somebody in your shoes right now, is there any recommendations that you'd have at this point, kind of going through this?
Yeah, I would say hindsight, I would never do anything where a puppy is delivered. I would make sure that you have the opportunity to meet the dog and that
Mhm.
you have the chance to take it to a vet. I've heard a lot of people get scammed where they do get a dog, but the person scamming them is giving them a dog that is very sick.
Mhm.
And once they get the dog, of course, they fall in love with it.
Right.
And they don't want to turn it back and be like, I need a new dog. You wouldn't want to do that. But I think that hindsight, I would never go and do any money exchange. I
Mhm.
would want to be able to meet the breeder, possibly see where they're at and see the puppies.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a good tip as far as being there.
Yeah.
I had another person on the Boston Terrier Society group. They actually flew from Boston to Florida to pick up their puppy. A lot more work involved in that one, but I mean, at least you get to see the dog beforehand.
Yes. And that's what we did with we did, the happy ending was we did end
Mhm.
up getting a dog. We got Gronk.
Uh-huh.
He
Yeah.
is named after Rob Gronkowski, who's used to be on the Patriots who play in Boston.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So
that's awesome. Well, as far as somebody wanting to maybe reach out to you if they have any type of questions because they think they're getting scammed, would you mind sharing? Like, can people reach out to you on Facebook?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably the easiest place is on Facebook, and my
Mhm.
name is Heidi Heller, right?
Mhm.
WRIGHT, and I am on the Boston Terrier Society page,
Mhm.
and you can IM me anytime. I am on other social media platforms, but I'm not on there very often. So
Okay.
Facebook is probably the best way to reach, and I would be happy to help in any way.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll put your contact information in the show notes below on this
Great.
YouTube video and everything. Well, Heidi, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story. I think it's going to help a lot of people, and I really appreciate it.
I hope so. And if it helps one person, I think it's going to be worth it.
Hey, thanks for watching. And remember, like Heidi said, always trust your gut whenever you're getting a Boston Terrier puppy and do what she had done afterwards as far as, doing the reverse search on the breeder just to see what pops up. So just simply go to Google, type in the breeder's name with scam at the end and see what pops up. And the number one recommendation is always, always, always go to the breeder's place where you can actually see the Boston Terrier and meet them one-on-one. That way you're not going to get scammed because you got the puppy right there in your hands. And once again, don't think that this can't happen to you. You always need to be vigilant because scam artists are always getting better and better and better. Now, if you're watching this video and you've been scammed, please put in the comments below kind of what happened because it can help other people who have come to this YouTube video just learning from others' experiences. Once again, if you want to contact Heidi, her information is going to be in the show notes below. And if you want to watch more videos about how to avoid puppy scams, you can check the playlist that I created here, or you can watch one of my latest videos here. And as always, until next time, life is better with a Boston.